Hello there. Today I'm going to show you how to fix the Rock Along Santa head problem. It's a pretty known head situation. And it's got to do with the figure not being able to move its head correctly, or it either moves it to one side and it doesn't to the other. Sometimes it doesn't move it enough, sometimes it just doesn't move it. In most cases, the pegs are still there, but they're spread apart because it's a very stupid build that they did. But today I'm going to show you two alternatives to fix that. One has not yet been proven, but I'm pretty sure that it should work, while the other one, I've tried it, and right now we're going to actually push it up a notch. So, here, ignore the base. This is a Rock Along Santa mechanism. It's a Christmas time 2001 variant that has the white, or, well, not white, sorry, the clear pearl buttons instead of the regular white buttons. But it's a short song. And the issue is this. These two pegs over here usually break off, which in fact one of them did break off. But first, let's not get ahead of ourselves. I'll just remove this. So a little bit about this one before I actually start with the problem itself. The belt was screwed up, so I have a new belt over here. All the gears have been cleaned because they had like the black stuff from the old belt, like belt shavings pretty much, because it was just rubbing and rubbing and rubbing, so that's bad. One of the gears, which I believe is this one of the tracks, I actually had to glue it in place from the inside because one of the flaps, the top flap, was broken off, so I glued the flap and then I just hot glued everything in this place. And last but not least, electronically, the seller actually shipped it with batteries in the present, and he also shipped it with the present actually plugged in, so must have received a hit or something. As you can see, it has the box and there's all the other stuff from it. Received a hit, the whole part actually broke off. It snapped off, so I had to solder it and I had to put hot glue and I had to actually replace the jack, since the original jack got a crack. Unintentional rhyme, but whatever. But it actually works like a charm. Everything works as it should, and I'm pretty excited to put it back together at some point. So, pegs. We love pegs, don't we? Pegs are the most beautiful thing in the world. However, sometimes pegs can be a pain in the ass. And I'll show you exactly how. These are the pegs that make the head move. The peg that's the other peg, which is in the head block, goes in between these two, and basically whenever this moves, it drags the head one side or the other. Now, I used to have a solution a few years ago, since 2020. As you can see, this one right here already broke off, and there's a reason why I glued it back on. The reason is, I originally used to do this. So, we have these parts, these partial parts, and you feed one at the bottom, like this, and you fill it with glue. And then, oh god, what the hell's wrong with the focus in this thing? Alright, I think, so we have one at the top, one at the bottom, and one goes at the top. Now, this is an old solution I have. I've used it in basically all my rock-alongs until this one, and then I realized I can probably push it up a notch. And I make this. This is a little better of a holder. Random noises. How nice. Anyways. So you put it like this, and it's got the same exact effect. It actually goes in, fits perfectly. And now what you have to do is fill it with glue, let it sit for a while, and whenever that's done, you can put it back together and it's going to fit nice and tight, just like it's meant to, and no bullshit. Now, that is if you have both pegs, okay? Because of course, not everyone has the pegs. what do you do if you don't have the pegs? And this is where I have a bit of a solution that's not been tested. It's an alternative. Basically what I did is I designed a piece that's got this bottom part shape, and it's pretty much this tall. It's around 4 millimeters tall, and it pretty much mixes part of this. I'll explain exactly why. So music. So this is the part. What I did was I kind of I reutilized what was used at the arms, kind of the same, you know, principle, I guess. Instead of two stupid pegs, I actually made a whole part, a whole groove that if it were to work, which I don't know yet because I don't have a Santa with a Rockalong with without the pegs. If anyone has, let me know. I'll send you the file, get it printed, and let me know if it works. What would be cool to do would be screw it, maybe. You know, there's enough space here for a couple screw holes. Or just glue it down. You'd have to sand whatever little bit of the pegs is left, and it would technically fit. Should have to fit perfectly on here, right? And pretty much we replaced the shitty pegs by a full groove like the ones you find in the arms. That is the other solution, which I have not tested. So the solution that I do and I recommend when the pegs are there is glue them again or something and put this on, put more glue, reassemble it, you're good to go. Anyways, that's it for now.